Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Today I would like to run through all of the CitizenCon panels and shed a little bit of light into what we could be seeing at this year's CitizenCon. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members, in particular to my latest channel member, Furnace2552. Thank you so much for the support, it is truly appreciated, and if you do enjoy my videos, please do consider subscribing and helping the channel to grow. So we finally have the schedule for CitizenCon with the panels, descriptions and times revealed. However, it is not super obvious what each panel will be showing off. So today I would like to talk further about what we could be seeing on each panel and hopefully shed some light so we can get excited. And do bear in mind that just because a certain feature, system or detail has not been specifically mentioned in these panels, like server meshing or Squadron and so on, that does not mean it won't be spoken about, as they often keep things secret until the day, and there will be more on this later in the video, especially regarding Squadron 42. Now, on October 21st, the doors to the LA Convention Center, which is where CitizenCon is held, will open at 9 AM Pacific Standard Time, which is, for those of you in the UK like myself, this will be 5 PM British Summertime. And the panels won't start until 2 hours later, so 11 AM PST, which is 7 PM here in the UK. However, I suspect the live stream will start either at the same time the doors open, slightly before, or shortly afterwards. So as much as those attending will be able to see things happening at 9 AM, we are yet to know when the stream will kick off, so we'll be waiting for more information on that one. Now, the first panel is called Shaping the Verse, the Future of Star Engine. And this will be starting, as I say, at 11 AM PST, which is 7 PM BST, and will last anywhere up to 1.5 hours. Now, do bear in mind, the allocated time for each panel looks to be about 1 hour, but you have to factor in the swap over of developers, as I believe there is just one stage, so they're more likely going to be like 45 minutes to, say, for this one being an hour and a half, it's more likely going to be an hour and 15. Anyway, this is called Shaping the Verse, the Future of Star Engine, and the description of the panel reads, "From pixel to persistent universe and everything in between. Join us as we showcase the power and depth of the Star Engine, enabling the seamless scale that pushes our game to the cutting edge of industry, technology and beyond." Now, this is, I think, the longest panel showcasing Star Citizen's game engine, with all of the work and the progress in getting this engine capable of supporting such a monstrous project. Now, we don't know exactly what they are going to be showing off about on this panel, as the engine is so vast with everything it is capable of doing, and over the last 10 years there has been lots and lots of things going into it. However, recent updates could show us the subsumption AI, updates to planetary atmospheres and volumetric clouds, which I know they are going to be talking about in one panel this year, as it was mentioned in the monthly report. Gen 12 and Vulcan, which could include things like ray tracing, global illumination, and possibly even server meshing on this panel as well. Now, I do suspect this will also show off the new physics simulation work with the Maelstrom damage system, as it was mentioned that they have numerous improvements to the physics simulation that will be revealed soon. So this sounds like it'll be a nice, long, in-depth panel to delve into detail about what the Star Engine is capable of, and all the recent advancements, and that is the one to kick off CitizenCon. The second panel of the day is called Fix It, Fly It, which starts at 12:30 in the afternoon for LA time, and that is about 8:30 in the evening here in the UK, and as I say, looks to last around an hour, but do factor in that swap over time, with the panel description saying, "Want to get a look at resource management in action? Here we showcase an exciting upcoming gameplay role that shakes up the vehicle experience, continues our journey towards multi-crew gameplay, and affects all life in the verse as we know it." So this will be showing off the progress on these engineering systems, with what sounds like maybe a demonstration in-game of what will be involved and how players will be managing their systems like power, shields, fuel, life support, and so much more. Not just for ships either. This will be used for outposts, space stations, and anywhere that needs power. Now, I am really hoping that it will offer a glimpse into maybe an upcoming mission called the Ship Restoration as well, but it could just be literally showcasing the engineering profession, dealing with all the systems and subsystems on our ships, which, as it says there, will affect all life in the verse. Now, after that panel finishes, around 1:30 PST, which is about 9:30 in the evening, it will then be the cosplay competition for 30 minutes, and then they will break for lunch at 2 PM, so 10 PM here in the UK, for about an hour, picking back up with another panel at 3 PM, so 11 PM here in the UK, which is getting quite late, but so be it. And over the lunch break, I suspect the live stream will continue on with interviews and such, maybe videos and whatnot that are pre-recorded, especially as many content creators are at the event physically, so CIG will definitely utilize their presence and maybe do some interviews with them as well. Now, the third panel is called Talking Ship 2953, and this is the traditional annual ship panel in which CIG talk about all the upcoming ships, revealing new ones, with the description reading, presenting this year's newly released vehicles with a focus on how lore of the past is shaping vehicles of the future, as we look at the pipeline itself and the new methodologies within. So definitely delving into the current processes that CIG goes through to get the ships and vehicles in-game from conception to flyable. And as it's referring to lore, maybe the leaks about the potential RSI Zeus M2 are real? We will have to see, but I certainly look forward to seeing if that is true. Now, this panel, as mentioned, starts at 3 PM PST, which is 11 o'clock in the evening here, and looks to last around an hour. And then the final panel for the first day is called Navigating the Universe, and the description for this one reads, "Travel with us to the forefront of navigation with a look at the evolution of UI features that help players view, engage, and interact with their surroundings, offering exciting new perspectives on the Star Citizen universe." Now, this panel is set to be quite a big one, as this will be revealing the new star map, the mini-map, the local area map, and all the new functionality that this map will bring. It could also be showing off other aspects of UI as well, like the ship manufacturer HUDs, MFDs, maybe the updates to visors for the helmets as well, but at the least it will show off the star map work, which we are all desperate for in the PU, and I am so excited to see what it looks like, and what more functionality we'll have in the verse, as well as future-proofing it for upcoming systems. Now, again, this looks like an hour panel, however, the end time is not present, and there is a huge gap between the panel ending and the venue closing at 7 PM, which is 3 AM in the morning in the UK. So, could be something to reveal here. However, Jake Acapella, one of the CIG community members, did state that this was a misprint, and there is nothing going on. So, take it as you will. He could be trying to mislead because they've got something to reveal. It does seem a little odd that it would pass so many review gates for this schedule before being released, but it wouldn't be the first time a misprint or a type error has gone live. Anyway, a great day, lots of exciting features, systems, and technology to learn about, and then coming back on October 22nd, the next day, being Sunday, this kicks off at the same time, so 9 AM in the morning in LA, which is 5 PM here in the UK. And again, the first panel will also start 2 hours after the doors to the venue opens at 11 AM LA time, which again is 7 PM here in the UK. Now, the first panel is called Character Advancement and says, "We explore the outlaw styles found on the far frontier, the new technologies enabling our next generation of character customization, and the much anticipated arrival of diverse coiffeurs," if that's how you pronounce it, I don't know. So this will be delving into the characters that occupy Pyro, how they look, how they dress, how they behave differently to Stanton's occupants, plus checking out the next version of the Star Citizen character customizer, which includes the new hairstyles that we have been waiting for years to see. So really excited to see what evolutions to character customizations will have. Hopefully it could include things like beards, tattoos, scars, those sorts of things. I don't know yet, but that could be the case. And hopefully, in comparison to what we have now, it will be far greater to set us all apart from one another, and hopefully being able to recognize each other in-game just based on our characters' visuals. Now, after that panel, which again looks to be about an hour long, at 12 PM PST, that's 8 PM British summertime, the next panel is called Life in the First Person. And this description reads, "Get a close-up and personal look at upcoming major improvements to first-person gameplay, diversified combat AI behavior, overhauled weapon handling, and how we're shaping a more immersive dynamic universe through seamless and tactile interactions. So this is going to be quite an important panel, highlighting a lot of the work that has been going on in Squadron 42 to get the player and FPS elements up to a pretty much releasable standard that you would expect from a AAA game. Now, this will include more polished player animations, further abilities like using the ladders, sliding, prone and crouch movement improvements, hopefully EVA as well, physically reaching out and interacting with pretty much everything in the environment, so seeing your hand reach out and press buttons and grab things more cleanly, and a lot of insight into the new combat AI behaviors that I so look forward to learning more about. So a great sounding panel that again looks to last about an hour, at which point the third panel starts at 1 PM LA time, and that is 9 PM here in the UK, and this is called Talking Flight, and reads, "We launch into the next iteration of Star Citizen's flight experience and explore impending improvements for every aspect of space and atmospheric traversal, combat, and interaction." So as you can imagine, this is focused on all of the work that is going on for the ship flight, from master modes like tuning, tweaking, and balancing all of the ships, and offering the option between combat and navigation, atmospheric flight changes, which should include things like ailerons, flaps, and control surfaces, allowing appropriate ships to fly like real-world aircraft and be affected by real-world environments, with some definitely being better suited to it than others, and maybe even the progress on dialing in all of the thruster types like main, retro, maneuvering, and VTOL, so allowing only the ships with capable thrusters to hover properly rather than this artificial system that we have now. Now, this is a very important panel to check in on with all of this continued work from the ship teams, and again, it looks to finish after about an hour, about 2 PM in LA time, which is 10 PM here, for an hour lunch break. And when they return, this will be at 3 PM PST, which is 11 PM in the evening for us in the UK, and panel 4 is called Living on the Edge, and the description reads, "We delve into the living conditions and environments of outlaws and settlers trying to carve out an existence beyond the safety of the UEE, mega corporations, which are people like ArcCorp, Microtech, and so on, and other confines of 30th century society." So this is essentially the Pyro panel that will delve into the inhabitants and life in the Pyro system, from settlers to pirates, traders, and a lot more, and hopefully even creatures as well. As we have heard, there is a lot of work going on for the creatures of the persistent universe, so I certainly expect to hear about it on this panel. There is also a lot to Pyro, including diversity in population, as it is not just pirates at every turn, and this panel will likely show off a lot of the various points of interest, structures, homes, and buildings for the residents to live in. And to name some of the points of interest that have been in the works for a while now, we have scrapyards, homesteads, gang hideouts, repair stations planetside, the new underground facilities of course, space stations for the Pyro system, asteroid facilities, and many NPC settlements as well. So very excited for this panel. Great to see what Pyro looks like and feels like now after all of this progress that they've been working on it for. And again, this panel looks to last around an hour, but I think there's going to be a lot to learn about Pyro to get us excited for when it finally drops. Now, the fifth and final panel, starting at 4 PM PST, so midnight here in the UK. Oh boy. It is called Destination Adventure, and the description reads, "From high up in orbit, down to the surface of our planets, and deep into the underground, we delve into the new interactions, missions, gameplay, and more coming to the Star Citizen universe on all levels." So this to me sounds like it will look at the near future in relation to content like missions, maybe things like cargo updates, the bounty hunting version 2, the new underground facilities potentially as well, and again, interactions, which certainly seems to be the running theme here, making Star Citizen as tactile and physical as possible. And I do feel that this could be the panel where Tony Zurovec is one of the developers talking, addressing his team's work on the quantum simulation, the economy, and more. Now, this panel looks to be only around 45 minutes in length, and at 4:45 PM, so 1:45 in the morning here in the UK, the closing ceremony takes place. Now this is most likely leading on from this last panel, in which Chris Roberts will take to the stage for what looks to be again 45 minutes to address the road ahead to getting Pyro, server meshing and 4.0 out the door, and likely Squadron 42 as well, as it was mentioned in the recent F8C Lightning treasure hunt post, and I quote, "Remember to tune in to CitizenCon in less than 2 weeks for updates on the status of Squadron 42, and of course, Star Citizen." So this panel is likely the one that will update us on Squadron 42 and take us through the most recent progress on server meshing if it isn't the first panel of the event, and what to expect for the end of the year and into next. Plus, obviously saying a big thank you to the community and so on. And then at 5:30 PM LA time, which will be 1:30 AM here in the UK, the venue will close and the party continues over at CIG's LA studios from 7 PM till 11 PM, which I suspect I will be fast asleep at that point. So all in all, a very exciting lineup of really interesting panels. I don't think there's a single panel that I'm not interested in. I can't wait to see what we will see there, what will be announced and how things are progressing. It doesn't look to be a keynote like we see with other previous CitizenCons. That will be a shame if there isn't one. But also do expect ship sales and some surprises, as they will most definitely not have revealed everything yet, and will likely have stuff to show off on the day. I actually cannot decide which panel I'm most excited for. As I was trying to make the decision, I kept remembering other panels and I couldn't hone in on one. However, I do certainly look forward to learning more about what remains to do to get Pyro out the door, server meshing done, 4.0, what are we going to see for the end of the year, what is coming next year. It is a very exciting time right now to be a citizen, and I cannot wait to see what's said. But with that said, do let me know what you are most excited about at this year's CitizenCon, and if you do appreciate my videos, as I say, please do consider subscribing, helping the channel to grow. We are making a push for 60,000. Thank you so much for the years of joining in and supporting my channel and viewing my content. It is much appreciated. Also, come and hang out over at twitch.tv/supermacbrother. You are all more than welcome over there. We will certainly be discussing CitizenCon panels and more today, hopefully, as well, so I might be live right now. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, it does the channel a big favour. Tick that notification bell if you would like to be notified when my videos go live. And again, a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members. Cannot do this without you guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.